Stop. Seriously, put the pen down, close the dealership website, and do not sign any financing paperwork until you watch this entire video, because the American automotive market is about to undergo the most violent shift we have seen in 50 years. And if you buy the wrong car today, you might regret it tomorrow. We are not just talking about new headlights and bigger screens. Here we are talking about the complete extinction of engines. You love the birth of controversial new technology that has half the country screaming, and price wars that are going to leave early adopters underwater on their loans. The 2026 model year is the line in the sand. On one side, you have the last stand of the V6 and V8 titans, and on the other side, you have a wave of electric and hybrid machines that are rewriting the rulebook on what a car is supposed to be. Today, we are breaking down the specific vehicles that are causing this chaos, including the 2026 Toyota 4Runner, which is testing the loyalty of millions, the Dodge Charger Daytona, which has tried to convince muscle car fans that electricity has a soul, and the Rivian R2, which might just be the vehicle that destroys the competition. We're going to look at the specs, the hidden details, and the ugly truths that the commercials won't tell you, so buckle up, because we are diving deep into the 2026 garage to save you from making a $40,000 mistake. Let's start with the vehicle that is arguably the most important truck in America. Right now, the 2026 Toyota 4Runner. For over a decade, the fifth-generation 4Runner was the king of resale value and reliability, largely because it was ancient. It had a 5-speed transmission and a 4.0-liter V6 that would run forever, but drank gas like a frat boy at a keg party. Everyone wanted a new one, but now that it is here, the reaction is mixed, and you need to know why. The 2026 4Runner is built on the TNGA platform, sharing its DNA with the Tacoma and Land Cruiser, which is great for durability, but the heart transplant is what matters. The V6 is dead. Gone. In its place is a standard 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 278 horsepower. Now, before you panic about losing cylinders, realize that this engine makes 317 pound-feet of torque, which is significantly more than the old V6 ever did. But the real game changer, and the one you should probably be looking at, is the iForce Max Hybrid. This pairs at Turbo 4 with a 48 horsepower electric motor sandwiched into the transmission. Total output bumps to 326 horsepower and a massive 465 pound-feet of torque. That is diesel levels of torque in a mid-size gas SUV. This matters because if you tow a boat or fill your trunk with camping gear, the old 4Runner used to struggle on highways, but this new one will pull like a freight train. However, there is a catch. Turbos and batteries add complexity. The beauty of the old 4Runner was that you could fix it with a hammer. This new one is a computer on wheels. If you are a purist, this might scare you off, but if you want power, this is a massive upgrade. We also have to talk about the Trailhunter trim. This isn't just a sticker package. Toyota worked with ARB to fit it with Old Man Emu Ford shocks and a uniquely tuned suspension that is designed to carry weight. If you plan on overlanding, this is a factory-built rig that is warranted by Toyota, which is a huge deal versus building it yourself. But be warned, dealerships are already hinting at massive markups for the Trailhunter and TRD Pro models. So if you want one, you need to be calling dealers now, not later. Now let's pivot to the most controversial car of 2026, the Dodge Charger Daytona. Dodge has done something that many thought was impossible. They killed the Hemi V8 in their muscle car. The new Charger is electric. I know the comment section is already heating up, but listen to the specs before you judge. The top-spec Banshee model runs on an 800-volt architecture and is faster than a Hellcat. We are talking 0 to 60 in the low 3-second range. But speed was never the issue with EVs, the issue was soul. Dodge is trying to fix that with the Fret Sonic chambered exhaust. This is a feature that will make or break this car. It uses airflow through a chambered system to create a sound that can hit 126 decibels. It is not a fake noise played to the stereo speakers inside the cabin. It is a real physical sound projected outside the car. Some people who have heard it say it sounds like a futuristic Tiger. Others say it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It is polarizing, but it creates an experience that no other EV has. And for those of you who absolutely refuse to drive a battery, Dodge has left a back door open. The Charger will eventually be available with the Hurricane inline-6 twin-turbo engine. This engine makes over 500 horsepower in high output trim and is technically superior to the Hemi in every performance metric except for sound. So the dilemma for you is, do you buy the last of the used V8s right now and deal with terrible gas mileage? Or do you embrace the future with a Charger Daytona, which gives you instant torque and cheap running costs, but loses that V8 rumble? This is the identity crisis of the American muscle car, and 2026 is the year we find out if the Brotherhood of Muscle can survive the transition. While Dodge and Toyota are fighting over engines, Rivian is quietly preparing to drop a nuclear bomb on the SUV market with the R2. The R1T and R1 has established Rivian as a legitimate luxury brand, but they were too expensive for most people. The 2026 R2 changes the math completely. Starting around $45,000, it puts a true adventure vehicle within reach of the average American family. The design is pure Rivian with the stadium lights and the boxy shape, but it is smaller, tighter, and more agile. The internet is losing its mind over the interior features, specifically the fold-flat seats. Every seat, including the driver's seat, folds flat to create a completely level floor for car camping. You don't need to build a platform, you just drop the seats, throw in a mattress, and you are done. Plus, the rear glass pops open, which is a feature we haven't seen on a mass-market SUV in years, and allows you to carry long lumber or surfboards easily. But the biggest reason the R2 is a threat to everyone else is the charging network. The R2 comes with the NACS port native. That means you can pull up to any Tesla supercharger and plug in without an adapter. This removes the single biggest barrier to owning a non-Tesla EV. If Rivian can actually manufacture these at volume, without quality control issues, the R2 could easily become the default choice for anyone who thinks a Tesla Model Y looks too much like an egg. It is cool, it is capable, and it is priced to sell. This is a car that should make Ford and GM very nervous. But what if you hate all of this? What if you hate turbos and you hate batteries and you just want a car that works? Enter the 2026 Honda Passport. In a world where everyone is downsizing, Honda looked at the market and said no. The new Passport keeps the naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6. This is a massive selling point. No turbo lag, no complex hybrid systems, just a big proven engine that delivers smooth power. The new Passport is also the most rugged Honda ever made, with the Trail Sport trim actually getting real off-road upgrades like steel skid plates and all-terrain tires. It is boxy, it looks tough, and it has a massive interior. For the buyer who wants to keep a car for 15 years and do their own oil changes, a Passport is likely the safest bet on the market in 2026. It is the anti-trend car, and that is exactly why it is trending. We also have a touch on the luxury side, because Genesis is not slowing down. The GV90 is coming, and it is aiming straight for the Range Rover. It is going to be big, electric, and absurdly luxurious, with rumors of coach doors and a level of detail that makes German cars look cheap. Genesis has been killing it with design, and if the GV90 lands with the right specs, it could redefine the six-figure SUV market. Meanwhile, Hyundai is redesigning the Palisade to look like a futuristic blocky tank, likely with a new hybrid system that solves the current model's mediocre fuel economy. So here's the bottom line, and the reason I told you to stop before buying. The 2026 model year is not just an update, it is a fork in the road. If you buy a traditional gas car, now you are buying into technology that is being phased out, which can mean parts get harder to find or values drop. Or conversely, they could skyrocket as collector's items. If you buy a first-generation EV or hybrid like the new Charger or the 4Runner, you are being a beta tester for new tech. The smart money right now is on analyzing your actual needs. If you tow and go off-road, the 4Runner's torque is undeniable, but the Passport's simplicity is comforting. If you want speed, the Charger Daytona is a technological marvel, but the lack of a V8 is a cultural shift. And if you want a daily driver that can do it all, the Rivian R2 looks unbeatable on paper. My advice is to wait. Wait until these cars hit the lot, wait until the first reviews come in, and wait to see if the dealers try to gouge you with markups. Do not pay over MSRP for a mass-produced car. The market is correcting and power is shifting back to the buyer. Stay patient, do your research, and keep watching this channel, because as soon as we get our hands on these for a real-world test, we will tell you the truth that the brochures won't. 2026 is going to be a wild ride, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't get left behind.